Long ago, in a quiet little town where cobblestone streets echoed with the sound of horse carriages and laughter from children playing, there lived a boy named Aarav and a girl named Meera. Their story was not written in history books, nor sung about in grand songs, but it lived in whispers, passed down by those who believe that true love leaves a mark, even when time tries to erase it. Aarav was the son of a schoolteacher, a boy who loved books more than anything else. His hands often carried the smell of old paper and ink, and his eyes were filled with dreams of writing stories that could travel beyond the borders of his small town. Meera, on the other hand, was the daughter of a shopkeeper. Her laughter was so pure that even the dullest mornings seemed brighter when she walked by. She was not someone who read books often, but she loved listening to them. And Aarav, unknowingly, was her favorite storyteller. They first met under the banyan tree near the edge of the town. Aarav was sitting there, scribbling words in his worn-out notebook, when Meera stopped by to tie the strap of her sandal. Curious, she peeked at what he was writing. Embarrassed, Aarav quickly shut the notebook, but Meera's eyes sparkled. "Why hide?" she asked softly. "Stories are meant to be shared." That was the beginning. From then on, the banyan tree became their secret place. Aarav would read aloud his unfinished tales, and Meera would listen with wide-eyed wonder, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying. In her silence he found comfort. In his words she found a world bigger than the one she lived in. Love at first crept in quietly, like the way morning dew rests on petals before anyone notices. But like many old love stories, theirs too had a shadow. Meera's family had plans for her future, plans that did not involve a boy who lived in dreams and ink. Suitors with wealth and status came, and her father reminded her that love was a luxury, not a necessity. Aarav, though heartbroken, never fought. Instead, he wrote. Every night, he filled pages with letters he could never send, hoping that maybe, just maybe, the wind would carry his words to her. One evening, under a fading sunset, Meera came to the banyan tree with tears in her eyes. She told Aarav that she was to be married to someone else, a man her parents had chosen. Arav's chest tightened, but he did not stop her. He only said, "If you ever feel lost, remember the stories. They will always lead you back to yourself." Meera held his notebook for a moment, then pressed it back into his hands. "No," she whispered. "You belong to you. You belong to them." The day Meera left, the town felt quieter. Aarav stopped going to the banyan tree. The children still played, the carriages still rolled, but for him, time had slowed. He buried himself in teaching and writing in silence. Years passed, seasons changed. The tree stood tall, but their laughter was gone. One winter morning, decades later, an older Aarav walked by the banyan tree, his hair now silver, his steps slower. He carried with him a book, a real one this time, published and bound. It held within its pages all the stories he had once told under the branches and more. As he sat down, a familiar sound of laughter reached him. Turning, he saw a woman, her hair streaked with gray, her face lined with age, but her eyes, those eyes still carried the same sparkle. It was Meera. Life had taken her far, given her family, responsibilities, and years that kept her away. But when she held the book in her hands, she whispered, "You kept your promise." Aarav smiled, tears blurring his vision. "And you found your way back." They did not speak much that day. They didn't need to. Some love stories don't demand grand gestures or happy endings. They live in the quiet presence of two souls who once found each other, lost each other, and still carried a piece of one another through time. And so under that same banyan tree, two old friends, two old lovers sat side by side. The world around them moved on, but in that moment, it didn't matter. Their love, though weathered and worn, was still there, silent, steadfast, and eternal. Some stories are not about forever. They are about moments that outlive time, about feelings that refuse to fade. Aarav and Meera's love was one of those. Not perfect, not endless, but true. And perhaps that is the kind of love that lingers the longest, the kind that becomes a soul story, whispered across generations.